And I don't know if you guys know who Michael Eisenberg is. He is an American-Israeli businessman and a venture capitalist. He is from, I think he's typical. Splits his time between Tel Aviv and New York City. Here's what he had to say at this wonderful event.
You even say shalom in New York anymore. That's what Miriam said this morning. So just to pick up on that, what I'll tell everybody is skip Miami. If you're leaving New York, just come straight to Israel. There's no reason to make a stop in Florida before you need to come.
You
Agreed.
said that Zionism is economic growth. When we talk about the possibility of 1 million Jews moving to Israel, what is the economic logic behind such a vision, and why is now the right moment?
So first of all, immigration in general always adds to economic growth, except when you bring in, let's call it less qualified immigration.
Huh?
Oh, wow.
What? Wait. So immigration always leads to growth unless you bring in less qualified immigration?
We all know what that's code for, but it's just the fact that, you see, this is also the thing about Israel that I would think makes everybody sick. We always say they're the most bigoted people walking the earth, but the only type of bigotry that matters is when it's a conservative, quote unquote, like a Trumper doing it to a brown person. You are never, and I mean ever, going to see the type of coverage that a statement like this man made. This is a really rich and
we need to go back a little and hear that part again, I think.
So for those who are not understanding what true bigotry sounds like, this is it.
And why is now the right moment?
So first of all, immigration in general always adds to economic growth, except when you bring in, let's call it less qualified immigration.
Less qualified immigration. Okay.
That is here's the thing.
Wait, but is he talking about immigrants to Ziohel or immigrants to the United States?
I think it's one and the same, because in the end, he's talking about wanting to bring in, I think, like 1 million. I think the number is like 1 million Jews into Israel. Like that's the.
Please take them from Florida.
Please. Mr. Eisenberg, you would be doing so many. You take all the Zio Jews out of here, please.
That would be a mitzvah. That would be a mitzvah.
And you are certainly rich enough to make it come true. So, but I don't know what's holding you back, man. We'll give you a push. If you need a push, we'll lend a hand. Trust me.
But all immigration to Israel at this point has been contributed to the economy. There's just a study about the billions of dollars that Olim, particularly from North America and Western Europe, have brought to Israel.
Those are the good immigrants. Those are the good immigrants. The ones from North America and Western Europe. Those are the good immigrants.
Not only that, but the way he flippantly talks about billions of dollars going to Israel. No, you mean our money that is going to you. And it's part of the reason why you're so rich. This system is working, as you said, as it was intended. And because of that, scumbags like this guy are very rich.
Look at the button. See his little lapel pin? You like it?
No, let me tell you, when I was at a real estate event and I saw this jack-off wearing one of those things, I was like, all right, that's the end of that conversation.
And I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but they're large. But the Israeli economy is going to go through a transformation now. It's not only going to be high-tech led. We're going to build a finance sector in Israel. That's the first thing that's going to happen. There's new tax laws and regulatory relaxation that's going to happen. And you're going to see, beginning already in Q1, hedge funds get set up in Israel so we become another capital of finance. I'll argue we will beat London within a short decade as a second capital of finance.
Yeah.
We hope
okay.
so.
Good luck with that.
It's going to be New York as a gateway to America, Hong Kong a gateway to China, Dubai a gateway to Southeast Asia, and Israel as a gateway to other parts of the world. But I'll add something else. I think the other thing going on right now is IMEC. And we have here in the audience Daria, wait, raise your hand. Daria Pishavar, her father and I, Shervin, wrote an article together about how there will be peace between Israel and Iran. As President Trump said, they will join the Abraham Accords. And Noor Pahlavi is here. Her Excellency, thank you for joining us. And I think we'll see, by the way, even more regional integration with the 70 million people of Iran and all the other Gulf nations. And as IMEC runs through Israel, the opportunities are literally going to be limitless. And so we will, over the next decade, build this trillion-dollar economy. And you can decide. You can stay here in New York in a declining empire, or you can come to Israel, which is part of the rising middle of the world. which is moving south and east.
Oh my God, the level of delusion with this man, as if Israel could exist if the United States wasn't what we are.
I want you all to
serious delusion.
I want you to listen. This is a person, keep in mind, who is a billionaire because of us. Because of us. And he is talking about American, a city like New York City collapsing, gleefully talking about it in New York City. He's in New York City talking like this. And he's saying, hey, leave this city behind. Come to Tel Aviv. That's where you want to go. Let's play it one more time.
Declining empire, or you can come to Israel. And so we will, over the next decade, build this $1 trillion economy. And you can decide, you can stay here in New York in a declining empire, or you can come to Israel, which is part of the rising middle of the world, which is moving south and east. That's what I encourage you to do.
Okay. So many things wrong with this. Okay. First of all, Israel is going to cease to exist. Israel's going to cease to exist. That South and East and Asia and that rising world of which this man speaks wants nothing to do with Ziohel. Ziohel is not invited. In fact, we're not invited. And the one thing that he's really off on is that when our empire crumbles, Israel ceases to exist. Period. It's done.
What you wish for.
The rest of the world is not dealing with Israel. I don't know what growing empire. Israel's economy is in the toilet. These people are paid to just come out with the Hasbro and the lies and the propaganda. Israel's economy is in the toilet. Nobody wants to move there. Nobody wants to move there. There is no financial sector. No other country wants to deal with them. That's why they're failing. And
hence why he's talking like that. He's saying, leave this failing city, come to our city. That's where you want to be.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. You want to talk about this is why I emphasize, and this is why I talk about Fuentes as often as I do. These are the Jews who are the scum of the earth. These are the ruling class people who happen to be Jewish, who have no loyalty to this country whatsoever. They don't give a flying fuck if it burns down into hell. It doesn't matter to them. When you're at that level, who cares? They have their ideology. They know what they care about. Yeah, Dubai, again.
By the way, Dubai is just another place like Israel.
Exactly.
That's just a billionaire fantasy camp.
You want to talk about child and you want to talk about just like trafficking in general?
Dubai, well, they have no rules there for the rich people.
The number one place for trafficking in the world is Dubai. So, hey, well, and
I would say Israel probably comes in pretty close too, because there seems to be a pretty big pedo ring that involves their people. So
now I know it's hard to believe. And as much as Michael Eisenberg was bad, this is the worst one of them all. This is Elon Carr, another Israeli billionaire. And you will not believe what he has to say about those who dissent against the state of Israel.
2 National Guard members were shot today, November 27th.
That's not the one, Colin. You pulled it way too fast on me.
Don't yell at Colin.
2 years ago, I mean, just go back 2 years ago, Israel was on its knees and its existence was in doubt, and the threats it faced seemed insurmountable. If I had predicted to you then any one of the miraculous things that have happened in the last 2 years,
First of all, I feel bad for him because he never hit puberty. So he's already got a big chip on his shoulder.
I just don't.
More high pitched than yours.
What are the miraculous things that have happened over the past 2 years?
No, it's a good question.
No, I mean, what miraculous things? Because again, Israel's economy is in the toilet and the people are leaving. Their IOF are having vast amounts of suicides and desertions. So I'm curious what miracles he's referring to.
Well, maybe he'll share with us.
one of them, pick one: Lebanon, Syria, Hamas. The hostages, Iran, and the U.S. involvement, any one of those things, you would have said that the stress of the moment drove me to delusion. And they all happened in 2 years. And so we are living in a time of miracles and unprecedented opportunities. And the challenge for us here, and with this I'll end because this is key, the challenge for us here.
I want to get a good look at those cufflinks. Let me tell you.
Just the level of just the delusion. Again, they are in a very small bubble of elite oligarchic Zios, and they really like to smell their own farts, but the rest of the world doesn't see it this way. That's the problem. He's delusional.
Well, again, it's all about money and power. It's not about anything of considerable interest that anybody would ever want to deal with. That's why I've always said, when it comes to the corporate international business world, Israelis are tolerated because of how much money and power they have. It's not that people seek to do business with them.
No one likes them.
That they're just wrapped up, and you have to deal with this fuck with a guy like this, but he's not done. He's got a little bit more to say.
Here is to leverage Israel's successes into our successes and our victories here, because we are one people. Israel's weakness is ours and Israel's strength is ours.
Absolutely.
And now that Israel has turned the entire geopolitical situation on its head, our job in the diaspora is to leverage those wins and win here. Do to our enemies here what Israel did to its enemies there.
So who are those enemies? Who are those enemies here that he thinks we should be annihilating, like the people going through the Holocaust over in Palestine? Who are those enemies?
Guys like this, once again, never get what is coming to them or what should be coming to them. So I'm going to play this one more time so you can hear it very carefully.
Is to leverage those wins and win here. Do to our enemies here what Israel did to its enemies there. And on that, the IAC is focused.
And let me be very clear as to who he's speaking of. He's speaking of me. He's speaking of me in terms of who his enemies are, because these type of Zio freaks, they would start with the anti-Zio Jews first.
Oh,
They'd
yes.
go for us first if they wanted to like start getting rid of people.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier. They're at a point now. First of all, the projection is pathetic because it's obvious that all they're doing is projecting because they know they're losing. They know that they're losing. But Elon Carr, he just incited violence. He incited mass violence. This is a person who says that we have to go after the unwanted Americans who don't support the state of Israel. We have to do to them what Israel did to their enemies. You know what that means? That means genocide. And he wouldn't hesitate for a fucking second because, again, people like him. And by the way, in case you're wondering, and I noticed that our friend is in the chat from Southern California, Lila, Elon Carr lives in Beverly Hills, which should not surprise anybody because this is who these people are. They live behind the gated walls and they think they can't be touched. That's it. That's how they operate.
Yeah, but nobody's untouchable. Nobody is untouchable.
That's true. Hey, if that guy, you want a war, you're going to get one. If he wants one, listen, Elon Carr, I'll meet you in the center of the ring anytime, any place, anywhere.
You would really lower yourself to fighting some like old man that sounds like an old woman.
Well, he's not that old, but I would smash his face in half if I have to. That person wants to hurt people who can't defend themselves. That person is a coward, the worst type of coward. That person, like I said, is also dealing with his own shortcomings because his voice is higher pitched than yours. So he already hates himself, no matter how much money he makes. He's probably also a not very tall man. He's probably very short in a lot of ways. And so
we're going into the Peter Napoleon psychological
session. I can't help it. Listen to how he talks. He flippantly talks about mass killing people. How fucking crazy do you have to be? A person who truly believes that they can't be touched. That's it. Why else would he?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Is he, I don't think he's I think he's older than me.
His name is Elon Carr.
That doesn't tell me anything about him in terms
He's
of
57.
his age. Okay. So he's only a few years older than me. And yet to me, he looks like an old man.
Well, yeah. Well,
he's only a few years older than me. He's 3 years older than me.
Well, yeah. But again, he's just he is a
Because
good,
now I can think, okay, so he's Gen X. So yeah, he's someone who probably got shoved in a shit ton of lockers as a kid and has a big chip on his shoulder.
Well, how bad could he possibly be? Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about going Mr. Pink. Maybe I need to be Mr. Pink. That's what I got to do. And then the world's tiniest violin playing the quietest song. And that's what's ultimately going to happen. Yeah, you know what? Is there really a difference between a guy like Elon Carr and somebody like Stephen Miller? I don't think so.
Well, Stephen Miller's younger than me. That's what's even creepier.
Stephen Miller's probably younger than me.
I don't know.
It's another person who hates himself. That's what you have to understand.
If you were him, wouldn't you hate you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I were Stephen Miller, I'd hate myself.
Which again is why you can't let certain people get power, because if they get it, they're going to wield it on people in the most nefarious, cold-hearted, genocidal ways possible.